Hello everybody, thank you for tuning in to Overland, Alberta. Today we're going to talk about how we've got both of these rigs kitted out and kind of some of our future plans for 2026. I'm really happy you tuned in. I get a lot of questions on both the Ram and the Jeep on what type of camping setups I have. So I thought I'd head out to one of my favorite beaches along the Red Deer River and kind of do a walkthrough on both rigs. We also have some exciting new news on how those layouts are going to change in the very, very near future.
If we just take a right here, there should be a spot we can go in.
Sounds good.
Oh yeah, it's perfect.
Well, let's start out with, yay, I've got my Jeep in, it's here, we're good to go. A couple more things to tweak on the Jeep and it'll be back into adventure again. So we'll be seeing the Jeep come back to the channel. I'm super excited about it, it's driving amazing. It's a good thing, it's a really good thing. So we might as well start with the Jeep actually and how it's kitted out and how I've got it set up for going out, doing long distance travel, short distance travel, and the camping setup that I've got. Well, basically, front and rear bumpers. We'll start with the bumpers. We'll start from here and kind of work our way back. We've got our front and rear bumpers. We've got a winch. That's probably the most important recovery item you can have is a winch. So a winch is hugely important, especially if you're going to be doing some of those backcountry routes that take you into areas where you're very, very isolated. You want to make sure you have a winch. And that's kind of what we have starting on this Jeep. It is a little bit of a lift on here. We do have 35-inch tires. And these particular tires are mud terrains, mainly because we do a little bit more aggressive trail running on the Jeep. One of the other things that we decided to do with the Jeep was put some lighting on it so we can do some nighttime running. I've also got a little bit of underglow that I haven't actually shown on the channel yet, but it's nice because it's awesome when you're on a trail, you can see what's underneath you, but it makes for a great campsite light. You can just hit the button and the whole campsite kind of glows without a bright light hitting your eyes. We've got the roof rack sitting on top of the this is the Rugged Ridge Exo Top is what it's called. So it's an actual full cage that's bolted right to the tub, and it suspends the soft top from the actual cage itself. One of the best cages I think you could get for a Jeep. One of the worst soft tops I think you can get for a Jeep. It is so noisy, but that's going to change soon. So I'll go over that in a second. On the Exo Top, I used to have two different types of rooftop tents. Did the soft shell, did the hard shell. Now doing ground tent, the Gazelle, and basically use my rooftop now for storage. I put my diesel heater and my propane heater up in the basket on the top. So when I go out camping, I've got both in case my diesel heater doesn't work. As we move to the back of the Jeep, I've got spare fuel tanks. Yes, I use them. They're not just for show. Because some of these areas that you go, you want to make sure you have a lot of extra fuel with you. And then I've got a swing away carrier from Bulletproof Bumpers. Actually, the front and rear bumpers are also from Bulletproof Bumpers. Locally manufactured in Alberta. So awesome company, great to support them. And this is how I've got the inside of my Jeep all laid out. Let me just open this up here real quick. So once we get into the inside of the Jeep, I've got my storage bags on the tailgate. Then once you get into the Jeep, I've got my puppy right there. She's like, what the heck are you doing, Dad? Fridge sitting on top of the fridge slide. Everything's just kind of shoved in here, so it looks a little bit haphazard, but there is a rhyme and reason to it, and everything's strapped down. I've got my chairs over here, got my sleeping bag, I've got my coffee bag, which is one of my most important things that I always bring. because I love my coffee. And then on top of that, I've got a drawer with all my kitchen stuff in there. So I'll take my table out, I'll put my table right here, and I can cook right out of the back of the Jeep. And I again apologize for the wind, it's pretty windy out here. But the Gazelle tent is primarily what I use when I use the Jeep. Now, like I had mentioned before, we did have the soft shell and hard shell that we've tried on the Jeep, but I find it's just a little bit too top heavy. So that's why I'm excited to go into my future plans on this particular rig in a little bit here. But I have the Gazelle tent. It's here. It fits from here with there's a 60-40 split in the seat. With the 40% laid forward, it'll go all the way to the front door. So this Gazelle tent fits in a 4-door just perfect. And as you can tell, it is right to the very end of the Jeep itself. So that's basically how I've got my camp layout set up inside the 4-door Wrangler. So there's a couple things that I didn't mention before. I do have the bags that hang from the roof rack on the side here, which come into play into my new top that I'm looking at getting for the Jeep. So I'm excited because it's going to decrease the sound, noise, the whole tumultuous wind events inside the Jeep. I'm going back to a hardtop. So as many of you know, I do work for Blind Man Overland. I'm now a part owner in Blind Man Overland. And part of that is we're bringing in a new product for the Jeep called the Tamarack Camper. And so that's what we're going to put on the top of the Jeep now, is the Tamarack Camper. A couple things I really like about it. It is a lighter setup than what I got now. When you take a hardtop off the Jeep and then put the Tamarack on, it's going to weigh less than this big huge steel thing that I've got on my Jeep now. So I'm actually looking forward to having less weight up top. It's also very low profile, which is great because, you know, in a Jeep they're not that aerodynamic. So the less I can push wind, the better. And it also looks pretty dang good. Here's a couple of clips of it. As you can see, it's a lot more lower profile than some of the other models that are out there. But this is a brand new product from Blind Man Overland, and I'm excited. And we're going to be kitting the Jeep out with this particular new camper. And it's nice because you can access the inside of your tent from the inside of your Jeep, so you don't have to get out of your Jeep to get into your tent. Another nice thing is once we kind of get going around, we're also going to have an actual insulation package that we're going to design for it. So on the regular yucca-pacs, the insulation package is an R4 equivalent. So we're going to have some pretty good winter camping ability once we get that new canopy on the tent. I'm pretty excited for that. So from now, let's go ahead and check out our truck. All right, now we're going to kind of go through what we have on the Warlock and how it's set up and kind of some of the features that we've got on it. So with the Warlock, we don't have a lot done with the suspension. They came with a little bit of a lift from factory, and we put 35-inch tires on it. We didn't have to do a lift because it came with a lift. The 35s fit perfect. There's no rubbing, no nothing. And it gives us enough ground clearance that we can get into pretty much most of the trails. So same size tires that I have on my Jeep. It's just I don't have the articulation that I'm going to have on the Jeep. And I'm very happy to keep it stock, so it's really reliable. So another key feature that the Warlock has in particular, it has a steel front bumper. Now in this particular case, the powder coat is starting to come off. We're going to get the steel bumper re-powder coated again, make it look good. But the nice thing is, it's a steel front bumper. So what that means is it will take a little bit of a beating. Now the one thing that we are going to be doing is on the Jeep, we have a front winch. There is an actual package that we can get for the front that gives us a hidden front winch on the Warlock. So that's probably going to be one of the things that I'm going to upgrade to. Just gives us a little bit more ability to get out of a sticky situation if we get into a sticky situation with it. Nice thing is too, tow hooks up front. Tow points are important when you have a vehicle out in the backwoods. If you get stuck, somebody can yank you out. As we move around to the side of the truck, I have a 50-liter fridge that fits in here perfect. Now the nice thing is, a lot of people do seat deletes in their truck, and this is my my puppy blanket. She's not in here, she's in the Jeep at the moment. But the nice thing is, this will lift up, and this will give you a flat floor. The refrigerator fits perfectly in here and just plugs straight in. So for seat deletes, I don't think it's necessary to do with the Warlock because of the way you can do the flat bottom on the floor like this. The great thing about the flat bottom is that you still have storage underneath here as well. So you can actually use all that whole area for storage, pretty much like if it was a seat delete. This is probably one of my favorite things about the Ram truck is it's so versatile in order to get things in here. All right, as we move to the back of the truck, we can see how we have our camping set out. We've got the hard shell rooftop tent, which is really quick and easy to deploy. You push it up, you crawl in, you go to bed. I do like that. And then obviously our camping gear will come out. I do have shelves on the back of the truck that are attached in here that we can put our kitchen gear and everything else. Pull the shelves out, you're set and ready to go. The one thing I absolutely love about this truck is the amount of room that the truck bed gives you. This is a 6.5 foot box, and that's going to come into play when I mention what our future plans are for this truck. Should be pretty fun. Future plans for the Warlock. Well, again, I work for Blind Man Overland, and we are coming out with a new entry-level camper model called the Echo S2. And the Echo S2 is what we're going to start with on here. Eventually, I'm going to actually have a full yucca-pac on there, but we want to do some product testing on the Echo S2. So this is a 6.5 foot box, and what the Echo S2 will give us is a full canopy with an actual top that comes out. It gives you standing room inside. So where that's key and where that's important, and I have absolutely no idea what that means in terms of what I'm going to set up for my kitchen or anything like that. I guess that'll happen once we get into the build, is you have a living space inside the back of the truck now. So we can take the Warlock and we can take the Jeep out on adventures, and it doesn't matter if you're sleeping in the Jeep or sleeping in the Warlock. You have a place that you can actually park your head and call home. This particular setup, once we get it done on the Warlock, is going to be great for long distance adventures. So if we're heading to really cool locations that I'm not going to tell you because we got some really good plans in the works, you can actually use this to live out of. Oh, hey, birds are coming down to see how we're doing. Anyways, that's going to be kind of a cool new arrangement that we're going to do with the with the Jeep. Oh, here, see if you can get those birds on the camera. They're coming down and going, hey, what are you doing down here? Sorry, a little bit of an interruption there. Gotta love nature. So yes, we are going to a full canopy camper on the back of the truck, and that's really going to make our long-term expeditions, even our short-term expeditions, a lot more fun to sit down and have a living space. So yeah, keep tuned to the channel. It's going to be exciting. I'll keep you guys all updated as it comes along. But yeah, we are definitely changing up how we're going to camp for 2026. We've got some great plans in place, and if you want to stay tuned to the channel, I'm sure you'll see it all unfold in 2026. I appreciate you guys tuning in.